Exactly, Emily. In our previous report, we focused on districts like this one, the 12th district in North Carolina, known for its odd shape. Police say an Alexander Graham Middle School teacher had inappropriate contact with a student while tutoring at his home. That's right, Donnie. Health officials are calling it one of the worst flu seasons in recent history. The number of North Carolina flu deaths has more than doubled this season compared with the same period last year. And there's still another 10 to 12 weeks left. The slogan of the campaign is "For All Kind." Now, I'm gonna move it out of the way so you can see it behind me. Now, some UNC alumni are asking if it really is for all. Hark the Drum is a group of alumni calling for a boycott of the campaign for Carolina. It's brought big names like Sam Perkins, a UNC basketball player from the 80s. And while Chancellor Fall has met with him and other boycotters, there's not been much talk about what's happening next. Posting on your own wanted ad, most people would not take that risk, but for David Helms, proving his innocence was just more important. The anticipation for the new MLS soccer stadium has grown ever since it was first announced. Soccer fans are on board, but city council members are not quite sold yet. Warren Robinett is a software engineer. His game Adventure was the first action-adventure game ever. But now he says he's finished working on one of the most important projects of his career.
I came up with an algorithm, what I thought would be a good and fair algorithm for drawing the voting district lines.
Robinett says the issues became important to him after Trump got elected, and his opinions on gerrymandering are strong.
If you allow them to have the power to draw the lines, they can cheat and keep themselves in power. And it's dangerous because the whole idea of American democracy is you vote and you can throw out the bad guys. But gerrymandering is getting us into a situation where you can't throw out the bad guys.
So, Robinett took matters into his own hands, creating a 6-page document detailing the problem and his solution.
I just wasn't willing to stand around and for the whole time. I wanted to do something.
A year and a half later, Robinett created the Utah algorithm. The algorithm breaks up the districts of North Carolina into squares, like the state of Utah.
At the point that I had an algorithm that I thought was done and worked for all 50 states, the gerrymandering case in the federal courts, one of them was being heard by 3 judges.
He reached out to federal judges to tell them about his algorithm. However,
I sent a letter to those 3 judges wanting to tell them about my algorithm, but I didn't get any response at all.
Corey, Ehringhaus, Winston, Cobb. These are all dorms on UNC's campus, and they all have ratings on rateyourdorms.com.
But there's one big problem that was staring us right in the face, right? The fact that we hated our dorm.
That's Jasper Brindis and his business partner, Andrew McKinnon. They started their freshman year in Ehringhaus, but they didn't have many nice things to say about it.
And we wish we had more information about what the dorm was going to be like before we came to campus.
And an idea was born. The two created their website, rateyourdorms.com, for people to, well, rate their dorm rooms to tell others how it was.
I mean, our goal is really just to see people, using it and getting the benefit that we saw, hopefully, people would have once we had built out the website.
The website is like a typical rating website. McKinnon and Brindis created 2 main functions. First, you can search your school's dorm and see the reviews that other people have posted. The second function is for writing reviews. After selecting your school, dorm, and year, you can give 5-star ratings to things like the building, room, and bathroom. You can even tell students the proximity to classes, parties, and the gym. The site includes 6 colleges, even going as far as UT Austin. Brindis and McKinnon hope the website keeps expanding and reaching more people. At the end of this week, they hope to add the University of North Carolina at Greensboro and the University of North Carolina at Wilmington to their site's growing list. In Chapel Hill, I'm Morgan Newell, Carolina Week. Caitlin Goodson does her daily face washing routine. She's using Neutrogena Hydro Boost face wash, but she used to use something very different.
I read on the internet that it was like really bad for the environment because little microbead things like don't actually break down. And I was like, well, I can obviously just switch face washes.
These are the microbeads that Goodson is talking about. When people wash the microbeads off their face or hands, they end up down the drain and into our oceans. And this is a problem.
What we can see is that those microbeads can end up in organisms, either in their digestive systems, and some of the chemicals in those microbeads can end up in the tissues of those organisms.
That's Dr. Jeffrey Bell. The chemicals he's talking about are this and about 66 others. Those chemicals end up in us through the fish we eat.
There are lots of elements of those ecosystems that we rely on for our human health and for our well-being, like good water quality and a source of food.
More than 200 products contain microbeads. Companies like Procter & Gamble pledge to get microbeads out of their products. I've reached out to ask if they've done so, but they didn't respond. Until then, Goodson says making the switch is easy.
If you can use something that doesn't hurt the environment, you just should.
A choice that helped her feel better about washing her face again. In Chapel Hill, Morgan Newell reporting.